Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, are two great kings, the gods that the King James Bible speaks of, which again, the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who the world in ignorance calls Christ. True name is Yahweh Shai. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar and on down, that rule and teach well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, so I just want to do a short in transit lesson, or however long the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai allows it to go. And I want to name the video More Thick Clay, or Thick Clay, or whichever title Yahweh Shai sees fit, I'll use. And of course, the inspiration for this lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai comes from Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right, that speaks about the thick clay, which the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, that went into that word, or those words, thick clay, many of times. All right, and when you look it up, it goes back to debt. It means debt. All right, which America, or Babylon the Great, which the true name of America is Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon, which the mystery has been a long time solved through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Mystery Babylon is the whole land of North America. All right, and America, or Babylon the Great's national debt is 38 trillion and climbing. All right, and I'm pretty sure all the brothers out there are aware of the situation that's going on right now in the Middle East between the small hats, Elam, all right, or the Iranians or the Persians, all right, and Babylon. All right, as we speak, missiles are being shot, fired off between the land of Israel and between the land of Iran. And Iran is also striking other targets, like Saudi Arabia, who have, basically aided Babylon with that, with those strikes or whatever. All right, and that's why Iran is striking targets inside of Saudi Arabia and a few other Middle Eastern countries. All right, they're striking because basically they've helped Babylon and gave Babylon the thumbs up to go ahead and carry out those strikes. All right, and now they're paying the price. But Lord wills, brothers can soon scream. I just did a simple Google search for how much does it cost to send a plane and ship to war, and if it adds to the national debt, or does it add to debt, or is it debt? All right, and it says sending planes and ships, which those planes and ships have been over there for a while now. All right, sending planes and ships, mainly the Abraham Lincoln and the other aircraft carrier. All right, and last week they sent like 20-some planes towards that way within the span of 24 hours last week, and they're still over there. All right, so it says sending planes and ships to war costs billions, with a single aircraft carrier costing roughly 6.5 to 8 million per day to operate. Right, and that, who you think footing that bill? The American taxpayer. All right, ultimately, it's ultimately going to cost the American taxpayer, or the Babylonian citizen. All right, per day to operate. Individual aircraft cost tens of thousands per hour to fly, and that's just to fly them around. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna jump down. It says are primarily financed through borrowing. All right, which America is already $38 trillion in debt. All right, already. Significantly increases the debt, the national debt. Right, so they borrow from the bankers basically. All right, and basically the American taxpayer, foots the bill. Ultimately, comes back on the American taxpayer to pay it off, but you could never pay it off due to the interest and all of that. All right, but it says again, significantly increases the national debt, which again is $38 trillion. So more debt is being added with this war, which we know, to go to war, it costs money to go to war. All right, money that Babylon doesn't have. So, like Elder Tahar has been saying, all right, Donald Trump has to be the guy to usher in the mark of the beast and usher Babylon the Great into the Third World War. He has to be the sitting president when those last two major prophecies come to pass. All right. Now it could be another dude. They could take him out or whatever. He could die or whatever, and somebody else takes over. But the way it's looking, if he survives, if he lives long, because he don't look like he's in the best of shape, he's going to be the one to usher in the Third World War. All right, lead, again, be the sitting president when the mark of the beast has been made mandatory, which is the microchip technology, and when the Third World War kicks off, he's going to be the sitting president, the way it's looking. All right. But again, this is more money being added to the debt, which financial experts have been saying that what is it, every 100 days or something like that, the national debt goes up $1 trillion or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. All right. So he has to be the guy to is going to be the sitting president when the last two major prophecies are fulfilled. And in order for the mark of the beast, which is the microchip technology, all right, to come, this current financial system has to go. All right, so this system has to be done away with. All right, and everything he's doing, all right, is leading to the collapse of this system, which again, America's in $38 trillion in debt. America can't, afford this. Can't afford to send ships out there. And then they're sending, weapons to Ukraine, sending weapons. They sent weapons to Taiwan just in case China wanted to, jump silly or whatever. All right, which we're still waiting for that. That could happen in the midst of all this going on. That could happen still. What was the last one? Funding the small hats with that ethnic cleansing of Palestine or whatever. All right. And again, just spending out of control, spending money that they don't have. All right, which ultimately is going to lead to the collapse of this current system. So again, he's doing any and everything to collapse this system, which he's been bankrupt. All right, a few times. He knows how to bankrupt corporations or companies, which that's all America is. America is nothing but a corporation. All right, so he knows how to do so. All right, so again, this current system has to go, and this current financial system has to go, and he's doing any and everything to do away with it. All right, so I'm gonna pause it real quick. I got something else. All right, Salakia. This is a video that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai that I played yesterday in the video I did through the spirit and power again of Yahweh Shai, called Wars and Rumors of Wars Update. Series that I see also brothers doing as well. Other brothers, Aquarium and Akim doing as well. But a little series that brothers and myself have been doing. Because every day this Third World War is amping up. All right, every single day. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this again. This video right here, which is I'm pretty sure all the brothers out there know who this is. Gerald Celente, the owner of the Trends Journal. All right, and he's pretty on point or pretty accurate with most of his predictions. All right, with last year, one of his magazines, the name of his magazine was, title of his magazine was, for the Trends Journal was a golden year for gold. All right, and that's when gold was at like $2,000 or something like that. Now gold is at like $5,000, $5,200. I just looked at it. All right, last time I checked, it was at $5,200 an ounce. All right, so he's pretty on point with most of his predictions, and this is what he said about this whole small hat Iran and Babylon thing. All right, so I'm gonna play this.
When all else fails, they take you to war, and there's more and more.
Shalakia, brothers. Yeah, that's infinity. That was a month ago. Dollars dying, which it is. Gold and silver flying. Disaster looms. All right. It's a lot, though, brothers.
Very important. When all else fails, they take you to war. And there's more and more talk about the United States bringing more and more ships toward Iran. If the United States and Israel attack Iran,
which they already have, Friday night or Saturday morning. All right. So again, I'm pretty sure all brothers out there where
gold prices are going to spike because oil prices will go above $100, $120 a barrel. That'll crash the global economy. Boom.
Right. He said again, it'll crash the global economy, which is what it's like the higher ups of Edom want to crash the global economy. All right. To push out this current physical financial system and usher in the new digital financial system, which in order for you to participate in that new digital financial system, you'll have to have the mark of the beast, which is the microchip technology. All right. So again, everything he's doing, all right, through these wars and all of that, adding to the debt, further destroying the economy, making more enemies, basically cutting America off from Babylon off from the world. All right, basically. All right, because all these tariffs and things that he's doing, which they shot down, but now he said he's going to bounce back with 15% tariffs. Everything he's doing is to wreck this current financial system, which is a great thing, which is a good thing, because these are things we need to happen in order for us, Lord willing, I'm part of the brothers out there pushing myself up that number of the elect, all right, to receive salvation, all right.
And he'll do it on the weekend, like he.
Right, so Jerusalem was on point. Now again, tomorrow, and the rest of all of next week is going to be a very interesting week, man. Very interesting. All right, very interesting, because again, they're still shooting rockets at each other. They're still shooting bombs at each other. All right, and as far as I know, the Straits of Hormuz, it's still closed. It's still shut down. As far as I know, I've heard that yesterday they closed it. All right, and I've also heard that the Iranians have struck or tried to hit one of America's ships. All right. So again, this thing is intensifying. All right. So like Gerald Celente says, they always wait for the weekend for the markets to be closed, but tomorrow the markets will be open. Who knows? They might close them tomorrow. They might not even open tomorrow. All right. Who knows? All right. But if they open and they're still firing missiles off at each other, it's going to be very interesting to see. Very, very interesting to see what happens. All right. But yeah, man, it's happening, man. It's happening. Things are only gonna get worse. Fucking devil, man. It's the book of Habakkuk. It's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. And shall not all these take up a proverb against him, saying, and a taunting proverb against him, and saying, woe unto him that increased that which is not his? How long unto him that layeth himself with thick clay? And again, the elders and apostles, a great millstone, went into that word, or those words, thick clay, many of times. All right, look it up. All right, it means debt. It goes back to the word debt. All right, and again, the national debt is $38 trillion, which an economy can't survive on it's like $38 trillion in debt. Eventually it'll blow up eventually. All right. And again, with Trump, doing things to add on to the national debt. All right. Eventually it's going to collapse eventually. All right. And again, like Gerald Celente said, this war with Iran is going to drive up oil prices. All right. Gold and oil prices, and crash global economies. All right, which is much needed again, because this current financial system has to go. It has to become a thing of the past, and it is. All right, becoming a thing of the past. All right. So with all this going on, these major players, the scriptures speak about, participating in this third world war, all at odds with each other, all locking horns with each other or whatever. Now, you got to believe that the mark of the beast is near. All right, that is close. All right, so with that, I pray this transit lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors again to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to you brothers that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.